Hello guys, so today we'll start with the basics of vector algebra. So first of all, you must be clear that what is a vector, what is the difference between a scalar and a vector. To clear that thing, let's see. First is a scalar and second we have vector. Now scalar, as we know, a scalar always have just magnitude. So a physical quantity which has only magnitude is called a scalar. But a vector will have magnitude as well as direction. So physical quantity which has both magnitude and direction is called as vector. So this is the basic difference between scalar and vector. Let's take an example. If a particle is moving from here to here, like this will be the whole distance. Now the total distance traveled by the particle from point A to B will be this curved path which it is following, right? But if I am talking about the displacement, this will be the distance and the displacement will be this one, right? So this displacement is the shortest route. It is only direction dependent. While in case of distance we have to see the whole path. So we have to see the whole distance. So the basic examples which we get here is distance, and here we get displacement. The other examples can be volume, temperature, and in this case force, acceleration or velocity. Now all of these vectors, displacement, force and acceleration, depend on direction also. But in this case distance is not dependent on direction because we have to measure the whole distance, right? And the volume, it is not dependent on the direction, right? And the temperature is also not dependent on direction. Therefore these are scalars and these are the vectors. Now how to represent a vector? Now the vectors are usually represented by a directed line segment. Now this is a very important term, directed line segment. So the vectors are represented by directed line segment. What do we mean by directed line segment? Like this. It is a line segment which has 2 points, right? Now this arrow will show the direction of the vector, that this vector is going from A to B. So this point A is called the initial point and the point B is called the terminal point. The terminal point will be the one in which direction the vector is going. The vector is going from direction A to B, therefore B will be the terminal point. Now this vector will be written like this. This vector is AB vector. Now this vector started from A and ended at B. Therefore this vector is written as AB. And since it is not a scalar, it is a vector, we put a vector sign on top. So that is the difference between a scalar and vector, that we have a vector sign on the top of all the vectors. Like in case of displacement, this is represented as distance. And when we are watching the displacement, when we are talking about displacement, we just put a vector sign on the top. So this will be the displacement and this is the distance. Similarly in case of force, we put a arrow on the top of F. Similarly in the case of acceleration and velocity. Now speed is a scalar and acceleration is velocity. You must have studied in the physics also. So this is the general representation of a vector, AB vector, where A is the initial point and B is the terminal point. Now guys, let's see. Can we say that AB vector is equal to BA vector? Can you say that? Now can we say AB vector and BA vector are same? No, they are not same. Why? Because I know that the magnitude is same. The magnitude here is same. That the length of this vector is always same. But the direction is not same. Right? Now two vectors are only equal if their magnitude and direction both